Welcome to Don't Dim to Fit In. I'm Maggie, and I'm so glad you're here. Spirit has a healing message for you all today. We're going to look at where your spirit is right now, what your current calling is, any hidden blockages that you all have that are keeping you from your purpose, any kind of guidance that spirit has for you, and then the outcome and how your spiritual path will transform you. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Just remember that this is a general collective reading, so just take what resonates and don't worry about the rest. Okay, Spirit, can we see where the collective spirit is right now? Ooh, we have the Dreamer, Page of Trees. We have the Dreamer. A lot of you have big dreams. Big dreams. Okay, that's the Page of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. Wow, there's a lot of light on that card. I love this for y'all. This is wow, this is a beautiful card. There's so much light here, and then there's a dove right there. I feel like you all have a lot of really big dreams, and you've been dreaming that there's trees in the background. So you've been dreaming of this for a very long time. And I feel like this could have to do with money, but also just that you've been, this being the Page of Pentacles, just that you have been dreaming of this for such a long time. You could have been dreaming this as a child. This could obviously be a childhood dream, but that you've always, something you've just always wanted to do. You've been, yeah, you've just been dreaming of this, and perhaps you thought, wow, I really would like to be, I don't know, a doctor, or I really like to live in the country one day, or I'd love to travel the world, or I'd like to be a pilot, or just, I don't know, anything, whatever you're dreaming about. But it kind of feels like, because the page, you might think, well, that's not realistic, or I have to have a big boy or big girl job, so that's just not going to work out, or something like that. But there's so much light here, so that's also in with the dove. It's also giving me, but you do still have hope. You still have hope that this could happen. So that's such a beautiful card. So that's what your spirit is right now. You have a very hopeful spirit. You're full of light. You have almost like a childlike spirit right now, where even though it could be a childhood dream, you still have hope that it could come true. That's beautiful. Okay, okay, Spirit, can you please tell me any hidden blockages right now? What is keeping the collective from their purpose, or from getting this dream that they've been dreaming of, and maybe even planning for a very long time? With this dreamer energy, you could be a Pisces. That's definitely giving me Pisces energy. Kind of like head in the clouds. Always, you could be a musician or an artist. Okay, the blockage here, we have the Knight of Angels. This is the Knight of Swords, and this is Watcher. Here, I'll show you the card. So this here is, so the person on the card, their eye, it looks like a physical eye, but there's light shooting out of it. So to me, the way that I'm reading this card is you're being called, or maybe what your blockage is that you're looking at things with your physical eye, when you really are being called. Spirit wants you to look at things from a different angle, a different perspective, perhaps through your spiritual eyes. So look at this from the perspective of, not with fear, not in the 3D, not in the matrix, not like, oh, I can't do this because I don't have enough money, or because I have a family, or because I have, again, a big boy or a big girl job or a career. Stop thinking of all the ways you can't do something, and start thinking of all the ways you can do something. So go back to this dreamer energy here, right? Go back to this dreamer energy and look at it from a different perspective. Look at it from your spiritual eye and say, okay, It's not a silly dream. It's not a childish dream. Perhaps it is my purpose. This is something that spirit wants me to do. This is something I've been called to do. My soul wants me to do this. So if you go into your spiritual practice, whatever that is that you do, if it's prayer, if it's meditation, if it's walking in nature, whatever that means to you, you go into doing your spiritual practices and you look at it from a different perspective. You ask spirit for help, and you ask your angels, your ancestors, and you say, hey, please help me see the truth. Please help me see the truth in myself. Please help me see the truth in what my calling is. Please put that on my heart and on my mind, and show me what it is that I am meant to do. I guarantee you that spirit, that God, that the Most High, that the universe will direct you to what you are supposed to do. And this dream will not seem so silly anymore, because you will be seeing it through the eyes of spirit, through your spiritual eyes, and you'll realize that this is your calling. And you won't be thinking about 3D things. You won't be thinking about, well, I have been conditioned to have a 9 to 5 job, and I have to have X amount of dollars for my salary, and I have, all of these things. Because when you're in your calling and you're doing what your soul purpose is, that's where the abundance comes. Yeah, that's really what I'm the feeling and the energy that I'm getting here. So the blockage is how to get past the blockage, how to get past this blockage. Sorry, I'm having a hard time getting this out. To get past this blockage, and I really feel the blockage is that you're just looking through your 3D spirit, your 3D physical eyes, is to go higher, get into a higher vibration, and look through your spiritual eyes and ask the Most High, ask whoever you subscribe to, whether it's the universe or God or source, whoever that is for you, ask for guidance, ask for signs, ask for synchronicities, and what your purpose is and what your calling is. And you will be guided, and you can get past this blockage. You can get past this blockage. And you're being called to do this fairly quickly, with this being the 9 of Swords. Okay, Spirit, what is the guidance? What is the guidance? What does the collective need to know? What does their soul need to know for their next step, please? What do my true seekers need to know for their next steps? Wow. We have got the Awakening. This is the Emergence card. This is 20. This is the Judgment card. This is a full-on awakening. Now, you could have already had an awakening. We can have more than one awakening. This is really giving me that you are going to, many of you are going to awaken even further. You could have a whole new spiritual awakening. You can move up to a higher vibration. You can start seeing and hearing things. You could start getting downloads. Again, with this energy here, with this blockage, it could be you just moving past this blockage and seeing from that higher perspective, seeing from this third eye, moving past seeing in your physical eyes, and truly tapping in to your third eye. You could get consistent downloads from spirit. You could see things in your dreams. You could start to see patterns of numbers. You could see 222. You could see 1111. You could see different numbers on license plates. I see that a lot myself. You could start hearing things. You could start getting just things popping in your head and you don't understand where they came from. Those are coming from spirit. This awakening card. It's so beautiful. You notice that there is sort of like a human face here, but it's also very spiritual. You could be awakening to the fact that you are a spiritual being in a human body, that there is a lot more to this experience than you originally thought, or that you originally knew. You could be a fire sign or a water sign. You could be moving away from being religious to being spiritual. You could feel like, wow, I've been conditioned my whole life, and I've been lied to my whole life, and you could be figuring out what your truth is, not what everybody has told you, not what your family's told you, not what your pastors told you. You could be figuring out what your specific truth is. That's really what I'm getting from this emergence. You are emerging with your soul truth. Wow, that is your next step. That is what your soul wants you to know. That's the next step that your soul wants you to take, and that's what spirit wants you to know. That is beautiful. We have meditation at the bottom. Oh, goodness. We have meditation at the bottom of the deck and fear popping out. Don't have any fear, because you're being divinely guided. You're being divinely guided with this. Okay, Spirit, if my truth seekers take all of these steps here, what is the outcome? How is this going to transform their spiritual path? What is the outcome? Oh, wow. We've got the 10 of Pentacles. This is loyalty. This is the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Trees. The 10 of Pentacles is legacy, family. This is abundance, wealth, generational wealth. Finding your purpose, your calling, awakening further, awakening to what your soul truth is going to bring you legacy. It's going to bring you generational wealth. And this is abundance, not just in actual money, but in joy and happiness. And if you see here, there's a heart in the middle of this tree. This is growth of love, joy, happiness, family. This is a lot of growth. And what I'm getting from this card here, it looks like the wind is blowing. So I'm also getting air sign. You could be an air sign. I feel like we have all the signs out here. We do. We have earth too, because we have pentacles. We have earth. Yeah, all the signs are out here. You could be any sign. This is fantastic, though. You go from the Page of Pentacles, where you feel like your dream is silly and childish, all the way to the 10 of Pentacles, which is ultimate dream fulfillment. And what's in the middle is getting past the 3D, going to the 5D and awakening to your soul truth. That's amazing. That is amazing. And you're being divinely guided. You could be feeling a certain type of way with the 9 of Swords at the bottom. You could be feeling like, wow, there's no way that I can do this. How am I going to get through this? But you are being divinely guided through this. Spirit is with you. Spirit is with you. Let's get some tarot for this. This is really beautiful. Your dreams are not silly. They're not childish. This is your calling. Okay, Spirit. Let me get some more energy out here, please. Okay. What's this dreamer energy? Lots of growth. Definitely going from the page to the 10. Like the 1 to the 10. We've got the King of Swords. You're very intelligent, very logical. That's giving me, you are balanced between your head space and your heart space. You have emotional intelligence. That's very good. Very good. Okay, you have emotional intelligence, but and with the blockage here, we have the Ace of Cups reversed. Part of your blockage could be lack of self-love. So I feel like the advice here is to work on self-love practices, daily gratitude journaling, meditation, yoga. Do things that bring you joy, whatever that is. I was just kind of listing some things that bring me joy, but whatever brings you joy, if that's cycling or surfing or going to the shooting range. I don't know why that just popped in my head, but like whatever brings you joy, and fulfills, whatever fills your cup, do that. Don't forget to fill your cup. You can be logical with this King of Swords, and that's fantastic. You can be smart, you can be logical, but don't forget to love yourself, and don't forget that it's okay to be this dreamer energy. That's okay. The Awakening Spirit, Emergence. Be careful of the way that you're talking to yourself as well. We don't talk to anyone as much as we talk to ourselves, and a lot of times we're not very kind to ourselves. So when you are talking to yourself, please be kind. Please be kind to yourself. Yeah. This awakening energy is going to bring you great happiness. We've got the Three of Cups. This is going to bring you joy and happiness. This is leading up to the Ten of Pentacles. You are going to start to understand so much about yourself, about your soul, about what happens to our spirit when we pass on from our physical bodies. And it's going to bring you a lot of happiness, a lot of joy. It's going to calm the fears that you're feeling here in your blockage. It's going to help you to love yourself as well. What about the Ten of Pentacles, Spirit? Ten of Pentacles, please. I see pumpkins on this Three of Cups, so this could be something that's happening around Halloween or around the fall, around fall or autumn for some of you. Yes. Okay, so we have the Six of Swords here. The Six of Swords, you're moving on. You're moving away from this energy of this stuck energy, this living in materialism, living in the 3D, worry, fear, not loving yourself, not understanding what's going on. You're moving forward. The Six of Swords is about moving forward. It's about moving on. It's about going to calmer waters. It's about peace. It's about moving toward peace. Things could be improving in your relationships with your family, your family relationships, your marriage if you're married, or your relationship. Please take that only if it resonates. Maybe with your children, you could be making amends to several people in your lives, maybe your friendships. You could be going back to a job that you're really passionate about. You are moving forward, and you're being very loyal. This 10 of trees here, this 10 of pentacles, you're being very loyal to this awakening that you're having, to your spiritual path. Nothing is going to get you off of your spiritual path. Once you get through this blockage, you learn to love yourself and you learn to see from a higher perspective, from a spiritual perspective, and you stay balanced. You are going to move forward and you are going to be very happy. And that is a beautiful thing. Okay, let's get an oracle card and then we will close it out. What a beautiful message. This is a beautiful healing message. You know, I want to get a couple of cards for this blockage just to see how that can help you. Spirit, can we get a couple of cards for this blockage energy? How can my truth seekers heal this blockage? How can my truth seekers heal this blockage, please? Anything else? All right. Got 4 cards here. Okay, the first one that came out was leveling up. It's number 105. It says that it's crucial to concentrate on your goals and your next steps. You're too occupied making progress to spare time for comparing yourself to others or belittling yourself. That's what I was talking about here, right? Be careful how you're talking to yourself, right? And don't compare yourself to others. Focus on your goals and your next steps. You might not have achieved all your goals yet, but you're gradually moving in the right direction. So just keep pushing forward. A lot of times we do get overwhelmed when we have a lot to do, when we have a lot of goals. What I have found helpful is to just write down or put in my notepad in my phone or whatever, just small goals. And once I complete one small task, I can knock it off my list, and that way it doesn't seem so overwhelming. So I have just these like small little goals, or I have one big goal and I break it down into small little tasks, and then it's a lot easier for me to handle. And then next thing I know, I'm getting all this stuff done, and then I get momentum and I keep going, and next thing I know, I accomplish my goal. So you are leveling up. Spirit wants you to just keep going, right? Remember, comparison is a thief of joy. So don't compare yourself to others. You don't know where that person's been. You don't know what that person's been through, and you don't know how much work they're doing behind the scenes. We don't know other people's lives. We only know what we're doing. So don't compare yourself to others. Just focus on what you're doing and your journey and just keep it pushing, okay? All right, we do have smug here. This is number 53 for all my numbers folks out there. This says that you might have gone through some things that others can't even imagine. You might have really gone through some serious stuff, right? Some trials and tribulations. I know a lot of my truth seekers have gone through some pretty serious stuff. But if you're going to be like, if you have this smug attitude about it, that's definitely going to rub others the wrong way. And it might just turn some people off that might be beneficial to you, or like people that are put in your path to help you. If you are going to be smug towards them, that's not going to be good for you, because if they're put in your path to help you and you don't treat them very well, then they're not going to help you and it might keep you stuck. Hopefully I made sense there. Long story short, we've all been through stuff, and we've been through some pretty tough stuff, but being smug about it is just not helpful. It's not helpful to you. It's not helpful to others. And the Most High can use anybody. God can speak through anybody, seriously, through anybody. So I really caution a lot of people that it's like, be careful how you treat people, because you just never know who God is using uh, to speak through to others. And you really don't know who someone is in the spirit. So just be kind to others. And that's right on top of the King of Swords there. So we do understand that we've all been through some stuff, but let's just be kind to others as a general rule. Okay, we do have feeling resentful, and I feel I don't know if I brought this up or not, but this is 40, number 40. You could be 40. You could know someone who's 40, but it's important. This says it's important to remember that everybody's journey is unique. This is kind of the same thing as don't compare yourself. Uh, if you compare yourself, you might start feeling resentful, and that's just going to make you unhappy. It's going to stop your growth, and it's just going to probably make you want to quit. And that's not really going to do you any good. And it's going to keep you stuck here, right? It's going to keep you stuck in this blockage when you really want to go to this beautiful awakening in emergent energy to get you to the 10 of Pentacles, to get you to the 6 of Swords moving on, right? So make sure that you're not comparing yourself to others. If you are feeling resentful, please deal with your resentments, because I found in my experience that my resentments were keeping me sick. So do with that as you will. But instead, it says here to focus on your progress, celebrate your achievements, and let other successes inspire you and motivate you. So instead of feeling resentful and jealous, let it motivate you. That's awesome. Okay, and then this last one here, this is number 44. 44 always gives me that feeling of spirit is divinely guiding you and also protecting you. But this is set in your ways. So some of you are set in your ways, perhaps that you are holding onto an old belief system. So that is something that you might want to look at. But you might be from a generation that believes that they know everything, or that their generation is the best generation, and you're just kind of closed off to other perspectives or what other people think. And that's really going to hold you back as well. So it's really important to be more open-minded, to have more of a growth mindset, and not to just reject other people's perspectives and how other people see things. So you might realize that just because someone else has a different perspective, it doesn't mean that it's wrong, and it could help you to grow. So it's really important to get out of this set in your ways energy and have more of a growth mindset. Okay, thank you so much, Spirit. That was really helpful. All right, so let's get an oracle card and then we will close it out. We've really got to do that shadow work. That's one thing. Shadow work helped me and still continues to help me grow in my spiritual path and in my spiritual journey. It's very, very important. Okay. What is the closing message, Spirit? Closing message? Okay, we've got the portal, access to the infinite. This is beautiful. This portal, it looks like there's a lot of water around it. Again, I'm getting You could be a water sign, could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This is a portal. This is giving me the energy that if you do get, and I feel like you will, if you get past this blockage, you go to this awakening, this emergence that's going to make you very happy. You're going to go through this portal. You're going to go to a portal to a different timeline. You're going to ascend. You're going to have another spiritual awakening if you've already had one. If you haven't already had one, you're going to have a spiritual awakening, and it's going to change everything. You're going to see the world so differently, and it's nothing to fear. I've been through it, and it's a very beautiful thing. There's a moon here. You could definitely be a Cancer sign. That moon is giving me that energy there. But this has access to the infinite. So this is where you really start to understand that you're going to co-create with the universe. You're going to co-create with spirit, with God, with source, and that our thoughts really do matter, and that we really do get back what we put out, and that we can create. We are creators, right? We're not the creator, but we do create, and we can create our own reality. We can manifest, and we can not only be dreamers, but we can make our dreams come true, especially if we are in our calling, especially if we're in our purpose, especially if we're helping others as we do this. So you're going to go through this. Whoever this resonates for, you are going to go through this portal, and you will have access to the infinite. This is really beautiful. This also reminds me of a mirror. So it's going to be very important for you to work on the shadow work. So not being set in your ways, having a growth mindset. If you're feeling resentful, please deal with your resentments and your wounds around and being jealous or envious or resentful, uh, and not and not having this smug energy and that kind of thing. So yeah. Okay, well, that was your message. I hope that it was helpful. Remember, don't dim to fit in, shine bright, and live true. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.